All right, so let's go in and see what are the things that you are not supposed to put in your resume. So I see there are so many things that we do put in our resume that are not needed. I've mentioned some of them, but I still capture most of them here, and it's very important. In any resume or in any Canadian well-structured resume, you don't have for any reason to put in your personal details. They are not needed. Believe me, your personal details are not needed. Nobody want to know who you are. Nobody want to know your personal. They are your personal stuff. So you don't need to expose them out there, right? Putting your photos, I've seen a lot of them. People put their photos, their passports on their resume. Yes, back home, yes, we might be doing things like that. But again, when you come over or you're planning to apply for a job over here in Canada, you don't need to put your photo. It's not needed. You don't need to put in your age, your marital status. You don't need to put the region, even the country. Sometimes I do, yes, I'm going to emphasize on this. I do advise, I don't like personally, okay? Personally, I do not like putting my country in my resume. Yes, that is not to say that if you want to put that is wrong or right. But for me, I do advise that if you, I don't like putting my country, right? Yes, I like leaving everything plain. So take for instance, if you schooled in UNEC, you can put the name of the school and put the state, right? But putting the name of the country, sometimes I don't like it. Okay, this is my own personal decision. I don't like it. I like leaving it plain. So you can as well do same, but having your picture, age, status, and some other ones, it's a no-no. It's not really that good to have them in your resume. Okay, then avoid using non-standard formats or fonts. When I mean non-standard format or font, I mean if you have or you typed in your resume in Microsoft Word, I have seen so many people, they use all manner of fonts, all manner of font styles, to make it look very beautiful. Those are not needed in your resume, okay? You can use Time New Roman, you can use Calibri, and there is another one, but I can't remember that. But these two is my go-to anytime. So once you use that, most times I always love using Time New Roman because it's the standard form that you can use. And what is the number? Like when you say font style, there's also font number, right? So the number you can use, maybe probably some people use 13, some use 12, but again, if the resume is becoming too bulky, bulky in the sense I have so many pages, I can reduce it to maybe around 12 so that it will contain more space. Otherwise, I love using 14 or 13, right? So these are things that you can also implement. The look and feel of your resume matters a lot. Someone coming in or someone seeing your resume can even determine, the person will just automatically fall in love and decide to, okay, let me give it attention and go through. But when someone open your resume and the resume is just looking anyhow, even if you are good, you are the best person for that position, it's a turn off already for the person, right? Then don't include irrelevant experiences or long paragraphs. Yeah, I mentioned that before. Any experience you have that is already outdated or maybe is not related to what you are applying for, there is no need of putting them there. Yank it off and go for the recent ones that will bring you that job you are looking for. Then avoid listing your references. Yes, I know some people are in, some people are in this table. We will write and write and write, and at the end we are going to put different up to 3 or 4 references. Or sometimes you see some people who will say available in request. You know, I know I've been there before. I used to have such resume. I'm not trying to like exclude myself. I've been there before. My resume used to have all these things and it didn't work well for me. And that is why I don't want you to make that mistake, which I did. And that's why we are coming here to like explain all these things in detail. You don't need to put in your references at the point that the recruiters or the hiring manager need your reference. They're going to tell you. You just send them an email and give them the names of people you want to be your reference, and that's all. And maybe their contact information or their email. That is it. Okay, so don't stress yourself to say, okay, I'm going to put my references and list them, or maybe you start stressing yourself before you apply. You're already looking left, right, and center. Who is going to be my reference? No, relax yourself. Take your time. Go through the job that you want to apply. Understand what is being required from you. Be able to structure your resume perfectly well and then apply. Once you've done that, you have gotten email for any interview and all that is progressing well. That is when you will now start thinking, okay, at this point, I'm going to reason who am I going to use as my reference. Okay? So if you do all these things or you avoid all these things, it's going to help you a great deal when it comes to having good resume in a Canada format. We will go into talking about crafting a winning cover letter. But I don't know if we have any question or whatsoever that we want to ask at this point. Otherwise, I'll go ahead. Do we have any question, anything whatsoever? We are going to look at crafting a winning cover letter. And what is cover letter? Someone will be asking, what is cover letter? You see the picture before, it's showing an envelope, maybe a mailing envelope, but something is inside it, right? So what is that thing inside? That is what we are going to be talking about. And what is the purpose for having a cover letter? But meanwhile, before I go into that, let me emphasize that it's not all application that requires you to have a cover letter. Yes, not all application, not all job application. Some recruiters or hiring manager of some jobs, they might not ask you to put in your cover letter. So if you are not asked, do not stress yourself. Go ahead and apply and just do your thing. Or you can also choose to apply and still put your cover letter. That means you are going one step ahead, which some people also appreciate that, okay? So what is the purpose of writing a cover letter? A cover letter is simply to personalize your application, and is an opportunity for you to explain why you are the best fit for that position. You are telling them, you see, if not Onyinyechi, nobody else can do this job. I am the perfect person for this job, okay? That is why you are writing your cover letter, just to address it to the hiring manager direct, that this is why, this is what I have done, and this is the reason I feel, or this is the reason you have to, not even I feel, you have to hire me because I'm the best fit, right? So normally, how do you structure your cover letter? You have to start with putting in your name, your contact information, which could be your phone number, your email address, like I said. Then you can also add maybe your LinkedIn profile if you do have one, which at the end I will encourage you guys to have a LinkedIn profile. It's very important, right? Then you put in the date. The date has to be the same date of that particular day you are sending that email, okay? It has to be the same date. Then employer's information. Who are you sending this information, this cover letter to? You have to put in their own information. Then you can start by addressing the hiring manager, like I said before, dear so, depending, and mention the role, right? You have to mention the role that you are applying for, right? Then the body, you highlight your relevant skills, your experiences, and things that you have achieved. And how do you do all these things? You can get all these things from your resume. You don't need to stress yourself too much because you already have it in your resume. You just have to go and lift it up from there. and then write your English the way that the person can understand. Okay? Excuse me. Then at the end, you have to close by expressing how excited you are and you are looking forward to having you being interviewed. You also try as much as you can to put in remember, your information is key. And you can ask them or maybe inform them on how they can reach you, maybe through email or through phone call. Of course, I always advise through email because that is the official way of communication, right? Then we talk about the length. How lengthy is my cover letter going to be? Don't have your cover letter to be more than 1 page. You don't have too much to say, right? And you don't want to bore anyone that want to read it. So that is why you have to keep it short and simple and very sweet. Now, tailoring your cover letter. How do you write your cover letter? Where do you start from? All these things I've been saying, how will you do it? You have to start by mentioning your company's name in the body. Remember, your company's name and the role you are applying for. Okay? Then you reference specific job requirements. Maybe if they are looking for healthcare assistance, and the requirement is that you will be someone that knows how to take vital signs. It's opportunity to mention that, oh, I have over this years experience and I have been attending to patients, taking vital signs. Mention all those things. They are very important and match them with your qualifications too. Do not hide what you have done before. Always showcase it because those are the things that will pave way for you. Okay? Use action-oriented language and professional tone. Don't sound like you are not educated. Sound like someone that went through school. You know what you're saying, and you are capable of doing this. Okay? Then I gave example here on how you can start. At company name, you put your company name. I am excited to bring my expertise in maybe what is the skill they are looking for. If the skill is that you are going to know how to take vital signs or maybe do bedside support, then you put it in taking vital signs and maybe possibly putting bedside support for patients to contribute to what? The specific goal. What is the specific goal? Okay? That is how you can structure all this. And before you know it, you are done. This is just like a one-pager. Right? Then we move to the tips for success. What are the things, how best towards your success, right? For you to succeed in any job that you want to apply, there are things you also still need to do on your own. Number one is for you to go ahead and research for that company. Please, you see that company you want to apply for, or you have already applied for that in that company, research, find out what is that company into, what are their goals, what are their success stories, how are people, employers in that company, how do they feel, try to find out what is the company into. Their mission statement is very important because during an interview, they can ask you, oh, I want to know, do you know about our organization? You said yes, or you just keep quiet if you did not, They might ask you, yeah, can you tell me 2 things you know about our organization? Now, take for instance, you didn't even study or you didn't even research about the company. That is a no-no for me, right? You need to know about the company. You need to know who is the owner of the company. When was he established? Like, get to know a few things concerning that organization. Then your resume or your cover letter, please do not be in a rush. Don't rush it. Most times you guys hear me talk in my channel, do not rush into applying. Like I always say that, don't rush into applying for this job. Take your time, review it, go through and be sure this is something you can do and avoid errors. Error is very, very, is itchy in the ear. where you're supposed to put and, you are putting and forgetting the. Where it's not really good. Okay, proofread over and over and over. If it requires you to give someone else to like go through with you, please go ahead and do that. It doesn't hurt. It's better you take your time and review your resume and your cover letter before you apply than rushing to apply and at the end is a flop. Which one is more important or better? So it's better for me. If I am the one, I will definitely prefer to proofread, get it right before I shoot it out. Okay? Then you can as well, there are some tools that can help you. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about Glamoury. These are tools that technology have made things very easy for all of us, right? So if you don't have Glamoury, that is a good opportunity to go and get that app. It's free. They have free version. They have also paid version. It will help you to spot those errors. If you have any mistake, Glamoury will help you spot them out. If your sentences are not correct, they can help you restructure your sentence to make more sense. So these are important tools that you can have. These days, a lot of people, I don't think there's anybody now, even children, even little babies, they know about ChatGPT. These are also tools that you can add to your personal, stuff, and you use it on your daily basis when you are feeling like, okay, let me check if this is okay. You can put it in there, copy everything that you type, paste it on Glamoury and ask them to review for you, right? It will spot those errors. If it's okay, it's going to give you 100%. So it's very important. And seek for feedback from your mentors or your career advisors. When people say mentor and career advisors, even your spouse or your friend that is knowledgeable enough can also be your mentor. It can be your career advisor. Anyone that can help you, that can direct you, can be your mentor. Always find out from such people. Always get feedback. No matter how old you are, no matter how big you are, you can still get advice from a child. It doesn't hurt, right? Just listen. And once you do all those things, it's going to help you a whole lot, right? And as well, I do tell people, do not forget to follow up. Follow up after application is very important. You might apply for maybe 10 jobs, and at the end, none of them responded to you. You can still go ahead and send them a follow-up email. Oh, I'm so happy. So this is just more like to check in because the application I applied the other time, I'm just trying to find out exactly where is the stage at this point that because I didn't receive any feedback from you. Try to follow up. It doesn't hurt. Don't think that you are disturbing anybody. Most times when you even follow up is the time they are going to respond to you. Don't just apply and sit back and say, oh, I've applied now, let me wait. If nobody responds to you, you just sit back. No, it's not done. Okay? Now let's go to the resources. I tried as much as I can because I have this passion in me to help as many people as I can coming 2025. It's not going to be the same. Things are going to be changing differently. So we are going to be like having different things in order to help a lot that are looking at moving into this country. Remember, 2025. So many people are thinking that the door is shut for Canada. It's not true. A lot of openings are coming up. In fact, there are so many. There's a video I made last week or last 2 weeks, I think. It's not yet published. That video is a new program that they recently announced. And people will definitely be getting those opportunities. Some people think that Canada is no more accepting immigrants, but it's not true. A lot of people are still moving into this country. The only thing you need to do, check the requirements. Follow the requirements. Go through the right source. Do not do anything hanky-panky or trying to do all sorts of things. No. Once you do the right thing and follow the due process with your God and your prayer, whatever you believe in, is going to definitely work out for you. Okay, so 2025 is going to be different. Now I try to bring out some job boards that you guys can check maybe from time to time, see job opportunities they have. Number one is Indeed. Indeed is very important. If you don't have Indeed, please try as much as you can. And I also put their link here. You can see ca.indeed.com. That is the website. It's a widely used platform for job posting across industry. Whatever you do, wherever, whichever country you are, you will definitely see some job there. Then another one is Workapolis. This is another good one. It specializes in Canadian jobs. So their jobs they post is basically for Canada, So you can go to their website, which is www.workapolis.com. Monster is also another one. They have a good job right there. So you can also be checking these job boards. It helps a whole lot. Then another one that is government approved in Canada is Job Bank. Job Bank, you guys must have been aware of that because sometimes I do post videos on that. Official source of government verified job opportunities. Most times, not most times, it's rare. There might be, but it's rare to see any fake job in Job Bank. Then another one is LinkedIn. I've mentioned this like more than 3 or 4 times here. LinkedIn is very important. If you're looking for a job, you don't have LinkedIn profile, please, after this section, try as much as you can. In fact, you can even connect with me and I will try to put you through on how you can do all these things. It's very important. If you don't have LinkedIn profile, please start building, have that culture of building your LinkedIn. A lot of people do get job in LinkedIn. Recruiters can reach you out in LinkedIn because of your profile. They will reach you out and ask you, we have this job opening, are you available for it? It's very important. The website is also here. Then another one is Eluta. Eluta is also a good one that you can check. Glassdoor is another one. All these, there are so many of them, but I just feel like to drop these few so that you guys can check it out. It's going to be a great deal for you. Okay. Now, I know some people do write their resumes with different apps and all that. I am not an advocate of that. I only prefer to write my resume in Microsoft Word, which I know very well that is worldwide acceptable. So that is why if you want to write your resume, I would advise you always use your MS Word. Okay, some people do that in Canva, some do it in Zesty and all that. Then networking platform, I've also put it there. Then local resources, that is for maybe people that are already in Canada. They can go to immigrant settlement organizations, career fairs. There are some career fairs that do online, virtual. We can as well join the career fairs online as well. Yeah, so in a nutshell, that is all we have for today's section on crafting your winning Canadian resume and cover letter. And I hope this has been of great impact for you. Okay, at this point, I will pause and take any question that you have, then we can call it a day. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. Now, you might want to connect with me. If you are not following me, I have a Facebook page. If you are not following my Facebook page, please do well. Click and follow my Facebook page. And also on Instagram, Wendy_Mwajufo. My Telegram, you guys are already on my Telegram. I want to believe so. Then I'm also on TikTok. And if you want to have one-on-one conversation with me, please do well. You can book your own slot on calendly.ca/WendyNwaji. And we connect one-on-one basis as well. Yeah, that is all. And I really appreciate you all for joining.